Hi all, I'm Matt Walsh from Style Factory, the go-to site for help with web design and e-commerce. In this video, I'm taking a close look at Cookiebot CMP, a platform designed to make compliance with data protection and cookie consent laws straightforward. We use Cookiebot ourselves on the Style Factory website, so this review is based on a lot of experience with the platform, and it's going to spell out both the positive and the negative aspects we encountered when using the tool. I'll start things off with a look at the advantages of using Cookiebot. 1. It's easy to install and manage. Cookiebot slots neatly into almost any website setup, whether you're running your site on WordPress, Shopify, Wix, Squarespace, or another CMS. In most cases, installation is as simple as adding a short script to your site's header, or, if you're on WordPress, installing the official Cookiebot plugin. Once you've done that, the platform takes care of everything automatically, identifying cookies, blocking the ones that shouldn't load, and displaying the appropriate banner. For more complex use cases, particularly those involving ads, you may need to get a developer to tweak your setup. But overall, the installation process is quick and non-technical. 2. It automatically detects and blocks cookies. Cookiebot's biggest strength lies in its automation capabilities. Once installed, it scans your site every month, identifying every cookie it finds. It then categorizes them into necessary, preferences, statistics, and marketing cookies, and can block any non-essential ones until a visitor gives consent for them to run. If you add new scripts or plugins, Cookiebot simply picks them up on its next scan and adjusts your consent setup automatically. All this makes it a genuine set-and-forget solution. 3. It adapts banners and behavior based on where your visitors are located. Another major advantage of Cookiebot is the way it adapts its consent banners based on a visitor's geographic location. For example, using your visitors' IP addresses, Cookiebot can show users from the European Union a full opt-in banner that adheres fully to the GDPR and ePrivacy directive, and US users a setup that is more opt-out in nature. Now, it's important to say that there is a bit of configuration work involved in setting things up so that the appropriate opt-in settings and languages are applied automatically. But once you've done this, your site visitors will benefit from consent settings and cookie information that's tailored precisely to them. 4. It plays nice with Google. From March 2024, Google began requiring publishers and advertisers in the EU and UK to use a certified consent management platform in order to serve personalized ads. Cookiebot is one of these certified solutions, which means it automatically communicates your visitors' consent choices to Google Ads, Analytics, and Tag Manager. Significantly, Cookiebot dynamically updates Google's tracking behavior in real time. So if, for example, a visitor to your site uses your Cookiebot banner to reject analytics or marketing cookies, Google Analytics will automatically operate in a restricted mode, collecting only aggregated, anonymized data, with ad personalization and remarketing tags remaining paused. Cookiebot also supports the IAB Europe Transparency and Consent Framework 2.2, which keeps your consent data consistent across the wider ad ecosystem. 5. It keeps detailed consent records. Under laws like the GDPR and Brazil's LGPD, it's not enough to collect consent. You also have to prove it was granted. Cookiebot performs well here, automatically storing timestamped encrypted records of every consent action on your sites. Each log entry includes an anonymized user ID, their cookie preferences, and the exact date and time consent was given. These records are accessible from your dashboard whenever you need them, for example, during an audit of your site by a regulator. 6. It lets you customize your cookie banner easily. Cookiebot gives you a good range of customization options, letting you adjust colors, button styles, and fonts so that your consent banner is consistent with your brand guidelines. This makes the cookie consent experience feel part of your site rather than bolted on, and can help instill trust in visitors. 7. A genuinely useful free plan is available. Cookiebot offers a free plan that's ideal for use on smaller sites. It covers one domain, works with up to 50 pages, and lets you comply with one region's privacy law, for example, the GDPR. It scans your site automatically, blocks non-essential cookies, and helps you stay compliant in your main jurisdiction of operation without paying a cent. You'll find a special link to this free plan in the video description. Okay, so those are the key advantages of using Cookiebot CMP. Do leave any thoughts you have on the platform so far in the comments. But what could Cookiebot do better? I'll come to that in just a moment, but before I do, I'd just like to invite you to like this video and subscribe or follow wherever you're watching it. This helps us out and gives you easy access to lots of web design and e-commerce resources. Now, let's take a look at the disadvantages of using Cookiebot CMP. 1. It can slow your site down. Because Cookiebot runs as an externally hosted script, your visitors' browsers have to fetch it and execute it before other parts of your site can load. This can slow your site down a bit and impact core Web Vitals metrics like interaction to next paint and total blocking time. This is especially the case on pages that contain ads or lots of third-party code. The good news is that you can reduce the impact on site performance with asynchronous loading and careful script placement, but you may need some technical skills or help from a developer to get this right. Now, to be fair, if you're using any consent management platform that relies on external scripts to block cookies, you're likely to run into these sort of issues. An alternative approach is to use what's called a server-side solution, a tool that runs on your own hosting setup. Usercentrics, the owner of the Cookiebot platform, provide one of these. I've linked to this in the video description. 2. The automatic scans could be more frequent. By default, Cookiebot scans your site once per month. For many sites, that's enough. But if you're adding new integrations or cookies regularly, it won't necessarily guarantee compliance. Now, you can access daily scans as a paid-for add-on. However, based on our experience of trying to do so, it's pretty expensive. On the plus side, you can trigger additional scans manually. You'll just have to remember to do this. 3. Things can get quite expensive as you scale. Cookiebot's pricing is based on two factors: how many pages your site has and how many domains you manage. Each domain or subdomain requires its own subscription, and there are no multi-domain discounts. The plans start around $8 per month for small sites, but site owners running large e-commerce stores or multilingual setups can easily end up spending hundreds of dollars per month if they exceed the higher page counts or need the daily scan add-on. 4. Reporting is fairly limited. Cookiebot gives you an easy-to-use dashboard that shows your last scan, the cookies detected, and their categories, but that's about it. However, you won't be able to access deeper consent-related insights. For example, how many users accepted analytics cookies versus marketing ones, or regional breakdowns of consent behavior. There's a basic chart available that tracks opt-ins and opt-outs over time, but if you want to see anything more detailed, you'll need to export your consent log to a spreadsheet and analyze it yourself. If advanced cookie tracking analytics are a key requirement, you could consider using an alternative product by the makers of Cookiebot, Usercentrics Web CMP. You'll find a link to this in the video description. 5. Support is email only. Cookiebot offers customer support primarily via email, rather than real-time channels like live chat or phone. This won't necessarily work for teams managing high-traffic sites or running time-sensitive ad campaigns. Competing platforms such as Cookiebot or Ubenda offer faster support channels for users on paid plans. So those are the key pros and cons of Cookiebot. Next up, my quick verdict on the platform. But just before that, a quick reminder that the best way to try Cookiebot CMP out is via its free plan. You can access this by clicking the special link in the video description. Okay, verdict time. Cookiebot CMP is one of the most reliable and well-established consent management solutions on the market. It's easy to set up and use, and once installed correctly, takes care of cookie detection, blocking, and consent handling automatically. Cookiebot's free plan is a particular plus point of the platform. It gives smaller site owners a genuinely usable, legally compliant setup without any cost. There are some downsides of the platform to consider, however. Installing it can have a measurable impact on site performance, particularly on ad-heavy or script-rich pages, and you may need developer support to sort these performance issues out. Additionally, its monthly scan frequency won't suit every use case, and its reporting and support options lag behind those provided by some competitors. But overall, Cookiebot CMP can really simplify compliance with privacy laws and is definitely worthy of consideration as your cookie consent solution. And that's our take on Cookiebot CMP. If you found this review helpful, please do like this video and subscribe or follow wherever you're watching it. You'll find a link to the free version of Cookiebot CMP in the video description. And if you have any questions, do drop them in the comments. We read them all and we'll do our best to help.